Alright, so this go around we'll be doing something just a little bit different. We're looking at some posts from Reddit. Shit Americans say. This hard to be interesting because Lord have mercy, talking about tone deaf. I mean, I'm on Facebook and there's numerous times I'm like, I'll read through comments on stuff and correct Americans because I'm like, bro, we're not the only country to exist. You know that, right? Or yeah, things didn't happen that way. Ugh. All right, let's get to it, shall we? So this one, when did your country get affected by the plague? 1352. So we're looking at 1300s here. Where is the U.S.? We weren't. It was all indigenous people here at that point in time. We weren't. They didn't realize we were here for the most part. So there's that. Pupils use phone locking stations at Scotland's first phone-free school. If there's a shooting, how do they call for help? They don't have that problem. They kind of solved that. And here's the thing, right? We could be like, oh, that's definitely an American problem. Like, there's no two ways about it. There's no getting over that fact. Are you serious?
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Bro, what the hell? Why is soccer such a popular sport in the UK? Football is popular all over the world, including the USA. American football is not. Surely that tells you something. It says Jimmy Butler MVP. So there's no way in the world I could be like the basketball player Jimmy Butler, right? Surely it's just referencing him. Most countries are too broke to afford helmets and pads. Soccer is just cheaper because all you need is a ball. Oh my God. It wouldn't be an American posting if we didn't have the entire world has no money. Only we have money. Damn, American propaganda is dumb. No, just not only that, Americans are dumb in general, apparently, especially when let loose on the internet. What? No. It predates American football. Like, what the hell? Yo. Really? Really? Come on now.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Somehow I thought Germany was the world's largest economy in the EU, and yeah, because they have effing dirt roads and the world is our playground, you're just running out. What? No. Somehow I thought Germany has the largest economy in the EU. I learned something new today. Can you tell us what you learned that says Germany is not the biggest economy in the EU? The chart literally says that exact same thing. This has to be an American. For real, you can't be the stupid and the big 2-5. Oh, you can be, though. Funny how only Americans need ridiculous infrastructure like this while other countries just focus on making better drivers. Yes, because they have fucking dirt roads. They have to be better. Are you serious? What?
You what?
Super confused by this. Absolutely all safe intersections are also very intuitive. Are you being ironic? No, they're probably not. That's a bad thing. The world is our playground. You are just renting this. I'm sorry. I'm so you should have to take tests, I think, before you're able to get on the internet here in the US just a little bit. I mean, granted, we've got free speech and free speech rules rules the internet, but when you're that ignorant, you shouldn't be able to put it on display for everybody to see. Just, it's better to be thought a fool, left silent so people are still wondering than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Or, type on your keyboard and just reinforce the fact. Real problem with Celsius.
I quit.
I'm not even that far into this and I'm already just... No, they didn't say that. Real problem with Celsius. 1 degree is a huge jump. Quickly goes from warm to too hot and the European is unable to manage. A deeply anti-human measurement system. Residents in parts of England might be well advised to stay indoors Sunday between 11 and 3, as soaring temperatures are likely to blast parts of the country. According to the latest BBC weather forecast, Sunday we will see highs of 26 degrees Celsius in London, Manchester, temperatures Liverpool, Birmingham will hit 25°C, while it will peak at 24°C in Leeds. The latest weather forecast suggests Sunday will probably be the hottest day of the next week as temperature levels begin to drop a little bit. It's no wonder they haven't invented AC in Europe yet. Basically impossible to design a thermostat. Oh, that hurts to read. That honestly, that's painful to read because holy shit. I've got to see the comments on this just cause. More shocked about it, it's basically impossible. U.S. haven't invented the decimal point yet. They struggle to count beyond 12 for the time. Oh my god. Yeah. Imagine being able to unable to read a fucking digital 24-hour clock and calling it military time. Well, over here, it's only the military uses the 24-hour clock. That's the reason why it's often referred to here in the U.S. as military time. But, oh my god. Developing nations? Oh, dear God. Woman builds a house out of bricks. Why not just frame it out like a normal person? Oh, shit. No idea where this is located, but in many developing nations, they build with brick and steel, reinforced concrete, because they don't have lumber industry we have in the... Did they really just...
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Though I'd be concerned she's not mortaring between the bricks, only dipping it lightly in some kind of adhesive. I don't see any reinforcement rods within the verticals. My head hurts. It honestly hurts at this. Like, I'm not that far into this. My head already hurts. Like, it's... Bro, why? Why? Just simple Google searches about, like, seriously.
Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man.
I didn't even, like, needs clarification reviewed in the United States on January 10th, 2020. This is written in English, but it's not a US-based, so it was not a fun read for my son. Maybe more enjoyable for somewhere else. Maybe the... Are you serious? Oh my god.
Stupid.
Y'all both have learning disabilities or something? Like, how? I mean, and do you not read the cover or take and actually do some kind of, like, read a couple reviews? How do you not understand maybe, you know, who wrote the book? Maybe, you know, maybe they're from the UK, or maybe it's, like, how do you not understand it? What I don't understand that. Oh my god. There's, you got the, you left the review on Amazon, which you have to use the internet for. If you're buying a book from the internet, Google the shit a little bit, at least read the back part of it. Where is it based out of? Oh, not the US, which means whatever English probably isn't going to be US based in the first place. What? Oh my god. Oh, we're doomed.
We're gonna die!
Yeah, I keep seeing people say stuff like that. Universal healthcare in the US would be a death sentence for many. Universal healthcare means socialism has won. We're like one of the only developed nations that don't have it. I mean, so... And there are systems that are worse than others. So it's not like, you know, every system is perfect. But going broke because you have a procedure and your insurance doesn't cover the entirety of it, or you're not able to afford insurance and have to get medical care, and it bankrupts you, should not be an option. Just throwing that out there. So this new American Pope gave his, I guess, acceptance speech just now. He didn't speak a word of the Catholic Church. They especially there in Italy, you know, at the Vatican, but the Roman Catholic Church in general, they take and give their speeches or their sermons and stuff like that, or even taking and just talking to the crowds, and it's Latin. What the fuck? Yo, it's Latin. What the hell? I would ask how people can be this dumb, but that doesn't really surprise me all that much anymore. We just have a bunch of idiots over here. Americans with water versus the Europeans with water. Are y'all okay over there? Are you hydrated? You drink water like it costs money to go pee. Oh, wait. What surprises me is how much walking is done in Europe as main transportation, yet they don't carry around water bottles. I'm genuinely curious as to why those correlate, if anyone has any ideas. Somebody replies, Asian. I absolutely refuse to carry a gigantic bottle made with the heaviest material possible. A small reusable plastic bottle will do. The lighter the better. We can refill in schools and workplaces anyways. But my thing is, I mean, also just the simple fact of the matter that culturally places are different. You know, I mean, that's the thing. Cultures are different. So whereas everybody has to have the newest, best and prettiest Stanley freaking Tumbler that, you know, they got personalized and everything like that. Doesn't mean everybody else wants that same kind of thing. Something that's smaller and more portable, or, you know, just get something while you're out and about taking drink on that you can then throw away. Also viable options. I mean, here we've got these cups that keep water cold for 72 hours, or it holds ice for 72 hours. Why would you want to have a cup that holds ice cold for 72 hours? Why do you want ice for 72 hours to stay cold and anything other than a freezer or maybe a cooler if you're going fishing for multiple days? Why does your cup need to have the ability to keep ice cold for 3 days? Why? That makes no sense, because then you get stuff, you know, you probably want to clean that out. I'm just saying, you probably want to clean that out so, you know, stuff don't start bacterias and stuff like that. But even still, even if you take out that possibility, why have something that can keep it that cold that's for your personal drinks? Put it in the fridge. Put it in the freezer. I don't understand that concept. If it's a Yeti cooler or, you know, Ozark Trail cooler, completely get it. Your cup? That's stupid. Keeps things hot for 72 hours. That one I get. If you got to take them to work, all right, cool. You know, you got people that take and work out in oil fields, and, you know, or if you're military and stuff like that, I completely get something like that. But it's very minimal use case scenarios where you need something that keeps something hot or cold for that long. Different culture. Oh no, probably the fucking thing Midget Zelensky gave France one of ours so they could reverse engineer it. Pretty sure he got a nice personal bank. Are you serious? France has introduced its counterpart to the American MLRS HIMARS, MLRS Foudre. Developers position development as a multiple launch rocket system, 100% French made. Other countries have their own military stuff. I mean, we're not so far technologically advanced with stuff like that other countries haven't caught up at this point. Just wow. Because in America, we've seen everything. Let's see, our professor said we had two options for the midterm: do a 15-second dance for the class or write a 15,000-word paper. Why is the class so gloomy? In my country, that would have been full of chaos, cheer, and laughter. Full chaos of cheer and laughter. Because in America, we've seen everything. No one's impressed with less than the best. Really? We still have Cleveland Browns fans. Are you serious?
Ouch, baby. Very ouch.
How are you going to say that with a straight face? Especially if, you know, you got Cleveland Browns, Dallas Cowboys. No one is impressed with less than the best, but everybody still reps them two teams, don't they? Like, what the hell is... We've got places like Mississippi. No. It's called college. Yeah, I feel that the video is heavily inspired by Napoleon Dot. Probably less than the best. Shut up. Legit shut up.
Shut up.
America should be in Eurovision. USA, imagine Ariana Grande. Europe. We're not in Europe. We should not be part of Eurovision. We're not on the same continent at all. Oh, this ought to be good. Americans correcting English spellings. England doesn't speak English. They speak British. Americans speak English.
Don't cry. It's gonna be okay.
Headache's coming back. British as a nationality. Oh, hell. We created the language. We built the world, dude. Girl, get out. What? Are you serious? Gas is short for gasoline, you British wanker. Petrol is short for petroleum, too. Old and out of date, new and improved. Bro's got a GPA. No, he's probably got a GPA lesson, too. We won the war. What?
What?
What? Are you serious? Bro. Bottle of water again. 3 people in the whole country say it like how you think. You guys say water instead of water. Gassy equals gasoline, month, day, year, because we say May 9th, 2025 instead of 9th of May. Basically an entire history of linguistics. Bro, they are crashing out into us, aren't they? America doesn't. No. What the hell? We won the war. We can say whatever we want. That doesn't. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Like, seriously. Also, fun fact, the American accent is actually the original. What would make you think that? That's my question. What would make you think that? At all? Bro, the crash out was strong on that. The stupidity was strong on that.
Stupid bitch!
No, they are not. Yes, they are. Oh my god. There's a reason other countries' degrees mean... No, you didn't. There's a reason other countries' degrees mean dog shit in America. Also, they get loans at 18, smart enough to vote, smart enough to not borrow tens of thousands with no means to pay it back. What are you talking about? The stunning arrogance to think universities like Oxford, Cambridge, King's College, University of Amsterdam, University of Vienna are somehow dog shit in America is so fucking funny. Literally think the rest of the world sucks and America is amazing. It'd be funny if it weren't so sad. Maybe try leaving the country at some point, but I'm sure you've got a lot of fries to... Whoa, Jesus. Why would it bother? We're not talking about the little handful of esteemed universities in the UK and maybe the, 10 to 20 other ones in the entire world, like there are more schools that are better. No, there's not. No, there's what? Let me get on the plane ASAP to explore all the other places. Why? I'm happy. My family is happy. So much to see here. Some people don't care, think or care about politics. They have no impact on people like me. So inevitably, whenever you argue America's shit because of our guns or fat people or shitty leadership, I'll laugh because none of them impacts me in any way whatsoever. Change your shirt, hater. Jealousy. What? What kind of... How do you make statements like that and that's your comeback when somebody calls you out on it? Like, what? Hello, real world. Like... Bro, you can't... Oh my god. And you don't have to think about politics for it to affect you. I'm just flabbergasted. I'm really just flabbergasted. That's just... Wow. Holy hell. Confused you, not like America. When I arrived in America and the first thing Border Patrol said was born in 2002, I was invading a foreign country that year. Wow. Yo. That's not what you're supposed to say. Oh, and yes, I laughed because that's actually funny. I don't care if you agree with it or not. Shameless. He knew I was Middle Eastern too. Bro. Whoops. I'm confused. You not like America? It's probably the comment. Like, come on. So why go to America then? All these people go to America and then say how bad it is. Get out then. I went to a visit for an event. Didn't expect to hear about invasion of foreign places on arrival. I was about to say, like, that would be the part that was say anything about the visit. It's just a border control agent. Like, come on. Ever considered not moving to America, stay in the Middle East? I went to visit for an event I was invited to. Also, don't live in the Middle East. Just from the Middle East. Doesn't have to take and live there. Bro. People, the point and in people's heads, like, just... Oh my god. Hero, give him some money. He has helped your country. No, see, that's my fellow Americans. When we went to Iraq and Afghanistan, we did nothing other than region destabilization. That's all that was. Region destabilization. Because as bad as Saddam Hussein was, there was less problems in the Middle East because for Iran to take and do anything, Iraq said, fuck around and find out. And often when they tried, Iraq would take and neutralize the threat. So, like, same with Gaddafi. He was a horrible person, but we don't, like, you didn't see the issues in the region there now that you see. Like, I don't understand how we don't take and promote democracy. You know, that's the cover story by the CIA. We're going over there and we're going to take and basically enforce democracy. No. We're doing region destabilization so the American government can profit off of the suffering caused via whatever natural resources and oil and stuff like that. If we should have went anywhere, it shouldn't have been Afghanistan. It should have been Pakistan, because that's the mountains where Osama bin Laden was hidden out. Was in the mountainous regions of Pakistan. The reason why we didn't fuck with Pakistan is, number one, they didn't have poppy fields the same way they have it over in, well, they might. I don't know.
2 very boring minutes later.
Well, they've got poppies, but they've also got nuclear weapons. So, Afghanistan, on the other hand, was a convenient excuse and reason it give us reason to take and go over there. Oh, yeah, he's hiding out in the hills of Afghanistan. He was in the hills of Pakistan. Like, the Taliban didn't allow the poppies before they went over, and American troops were American troops were guarding the poppy farmers after we went over. So you do the math. And 80% of the world's opium before and I guess now since the U.S. has left, that's where most of the world's opium supply comes from, is Afghanistan. So just, we do country destabilization. All right, give them some money. Helped your country. No, probably didn't. And the amount of people who just don't get it. Say that about a lot of years. Maybe countries shouldn't be dictatorships and they wouldn't get invaded. That's not how that works. That's not how that should work at all. Just because they got a dictator doesn't mean anything at all. It's a sovereign nation. Bro, the amount of people who are just stupid. American Pope, American World Cup, American Olympics, American trade deals, Gulf of America, we are so effing back. No, that's okay. This right here. I think 50 Americans versus 100 Brits was still in badly for the Brits. We tried this in 1776 where y'all had a big advantage. We still came out on top. History repeats itself. Win a war. Name a war you won outside of your own border. None. The fact that that's wild, and that's one of the things I tell so many people on social media whenever they want to take and go with the whole 1776 route. I'm like, bro, without the help of like the Dutch and the French and the Spanish, we wouldn't have won our independence. If Britain, number one, wasn't facing, still trying to pay back debt incurred during the 7 Years' War, scant 15, 20 years previous to that, and wasn't looking side-eyed at France, they would have been able to take and turn their entire attention to the U.S. So, or at that time the colonies. So, whatever. Eurotards really named a nation after some random When your taste is Switzerland, but your budget is Georgia. Eurotards really named a nation after some U.S. state? That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say because it's probably derived from Persian or Arabic, but also Georgia is just a country name in English. It's Serikvalo locally, just how Japan is Nihon locally, and China is, I can't even pronounce that. Country names vary depending on language. It's funny how that works, ain't it? Bro, the amount of just absolute stupidity is astounding. Uh-oh. This ought to be good.
And then as far as the rivalry goes, right, Canada-US, I don't think there's a better one on this card than you and Mike Malott. So there was a pretty big hockey game earlier this year, and the Canadians came out on top. So how are we feeling about that?
So I don't give a shit about hockey, right? That's not my gig. But what I do hold dear is I grew up on a bison ranch with my grandfather, who's a sergeant major in the Marine Corps. And when y'all boo the national anthem, somebody's gonna have to pay for that. And somebody had said, "Oh, well, you booed him the week after. Does it make it right?" So inevitably, I take that to heart because every year I would change 50 flags going up our driveway. So yeah, you're gonna see the results of it.
Well, that didn't end the way he was wanting to. You still lost, even after talking, bro. What the hell? The standard tip being 20 to 40% is absurd. I still only do 10 to 15%. I'm sorry. You are the one that picked the industry that you and the rest of the people that work in the food service industry can't seem to band together for a better wage, like where you don't require tips to survive, right? I'm not tipping 20, 25%, 30% unless it's exceptionally great service. Like over and beyond just coming to taking, how are things going, or, can I take your order? That's just what's expected. So 10 to 15%, that's what you're going to take and get. Standard tip being 20 to 40% absurd is not only the customers pay the server a living wage. Americans should wake up to the norms of the rest of the world. Let me guess. Europoor or some self-hating, virtue-signaling pick-me American. If it's the latter, just leave the doors wide open. How the fuck? Really? 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 Really?
Really?
That's going to be... Bro. Oh. $2 and something an hour is the base pay for everywhere except for places like California for servers. such a wild take. Like tips and stuff like that go back to like post-Civil War days when the former slaves were trying to get jobs. What would be wrong? What would be so bad with paying a server $12, $13, $14, $15, $16 an hour? Oh, the food would be more expensive. And your point. Your point. If they have to raise the price a little bit to take and cover the salary of the people that's working for them, and also have them, also be able to take and afford stuff like, oh hell, now it's done slipped my head. Workman's comp and insurance and stuff like that. So be it. 20 to 30% per item menu on something that costs $10 to $15. You're going to spend that in alcohol. It's like, that's what I don't understand. So many people complain, oh, the price of a burger would take and go. No, it wouldn't. No, the fuck it wouldn't. The hell? Bro, it's been done in other countries. Are you serious? First idea that the rest of the world is Europe is incredibly ethnos. But you're doing the same thing with the U.S. Ethnocentric. And what led to your millennium of failed colonization, slave trading, rampant racism, and Nazism. All those billions of Africans and Asians, they don't care. What?
What the hell?
Millennium of failed colonization, slave trading, of which the U.S. participate. Like, how do you make that rampant racism? As an American, you're going to make a straight face and say that when we've got 1865 up to 1964? Just with our own policies? Stuff like Jim Crow? People like Emmett Till? Like, seriously, you're going to make that really, oh, boy, the frickin', oh, Jesus Christ. The narcissism is strong in this one. Secondly, despite us having the most embarrassing president of all time, the lamest president of all time, and absolutely mental administration, we are still the center of the world. And in 4 years' time, things will start course correcting. Meanwhile, you are all still geopolitically irrelevant. Claim to be part of some global set of norms while you consume American services. Use American internet, ARPA, buy phones and computers with American tech, watch American movies as... What? The absolute fuck is this retard's problem?
You are a retard.
Yes. And now...
Physical or mental?
I don't disagree that we should do something about wages, but that's a separate idea from tipping. No, this... Ah! No! What? Are you serious? Oh my God. It's the same guy. If they had a decent wage, it wouldn't have to be tipped, you dumb fuck. Like, what? That's a separate idea from tipping. And it turns out you can tip and be a wage act. But you wouldn't have to take and be like, what? You don't have to be one or the other, bro. Meanwhile, you're home to Hitler and a global pedophile and rape ring known as the Catholic Church. If you want to start tearing down broken institutions, I suggest you focus on you first before you worry about how much someone tips. And don't worry about it. You won't ever get a chance to live in the U.S., so you won't ever have to tip. Wow, bro. Worry less about how much someone wants to tip, more that your Catholic priests have spread themselves around the world pretending to be some high moral authority. They're still raping children to this very day. Perhaps you and the rest of your racist and child-raping continent would like to join the rest of the world in our collective culture of not condoning and giving homes to fraudulent organizations running a global child rape ring. We have the Catholic Church here too. What? Epstein wasn't European. I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, what the fuck was that? Wow. Wow. The absolute, bro. The amount of just, that's somebody they say that to you in person, and they're going to have this clear air of just superiority. You'd want to throat punch them. How can you be that freaking ignorant?
I give up.
The fact that you can't figure out that tipping it's done here and it's a direct result. It's a direct result. The way it's done here and the reason it's oh my God. There's not enough work. Like, I'm kind of speechless that they would go that route. Home some fraudulent organizations running you take away even the global child rape ring, giving homes to fraudulent organizations. We've had too many of those that exist inside this country. Tone deaf ain't the word, man. Steve Irwin is an American hero from Australia. Do people not think before they type, or they just...
What kind of stupid-ass question is that?
I would ask, are they that dumb? But yes, they're that stupid. He was Australian. Australian is not American. So he can't be an American hero from Australia. No. Mother was very German in heart and actions. Uh-oh. You have a German flatmate. I'm Boston Irish. If you don't know what that is, and come to Boston and get some cultures like French Canadian. As Irish, I know now why we were so annoying when we lived in Bonn. I think maybe the Irish were designed to tell the Germans to relax. I'm about 3 generations away from German, but I was raised like this. My mother was very German in heart and actions and cooking too. Irish body, German soul, American flag, and Indian religion. What are you, my dear? Yo. Oh, hell. If y'all weren't aware, there's something called the Freedom Index. The United States doesn't even crack the top 10, baby. Remind you kids that all of the countries you think are freer than the U.S. are under our military. No, not all. No. Our military, no, it's not. It's the only reason you get to enjoy your, bro. You think NATO couldn't exist without the U.S.? You think seriously, oh my God, my head. Some of these things just make you go, what the American exceptionalism that's preached here is just overwhelmingly created a generation of fucktards. Narcissistic fucktards at that. Me showing off my French after one class on Duolingo. And who cares? It's North America. Not France. We speak American. We speak proper American English because this is France and the UK. Also, he clearly said he speaks it broken but fluent. That's what? You're either broken, which means you speak a little bit here and there and you can kind of understand, or you speak fluent, which means you have no problems. There's no broken but fluent. That's not a no. You might fluently understand it, but if you literally think people speak American, I don't think anyone cares. I don't think anyone cares what you say after that. You might be in the U.S., but here in Canada, English and French are our national languages. Cry about it. Yeah, that's going to sound really stupid, but outlet plugs. In other countries like Europe or South America, you have to have a special adapter if you want to plug in something. Here in the U.S., we don't have that problem. Not everybody uses the American style plug. They all have their own style of plug. You don't have to have a special adapter if you live in those countries. If you're an American visiting those countries, you need the sometimes you just see stuff and it's like, what? Yo. The audacity of Europeans to talk about mass shootings when you guys erupt into continent-wide warfare every few decades. I mean, they kind of have a point on that, but of course you don't have mass shootings. You already killed so many of your men capable of soldiering that there's little to no masculinity left in your DNA. Bro, that was such a wild take. That's the first part's kind of funny though, not even going front. But that second part's like, what? To erupt into continent-wide warfare every few decades, there has to be masculinity with it. Like, you know, you get testosterone and everything else that's pumping, and people, you know, oh, you did this and you pissed us off. We're gonna take and we want this that you've got or whatever. Like, you've got, bro, that's so hilarious. Prior to doing Ancestry, I identified as Irish, even though I knew I was 50% Polish. I was raised by an Irish identifying widowed mother and knew nothing of my Eastern European's father's culture or his relatives. I moved from Northwest Pennsylvania to Boston as a teenager, and then up the North Shore. I was initially taken aback by the peculiarities of social nuance and custom and mass, but embraced it and enjoyed it living there. Surprised to take an ancestry test to find I'm equally English and Irish on my maternal side. It's kind of how DNA works there, cuz. Just gonna throw that out there. The U.S. ever annexes Canada? It's not like Canada will have a say in it. Bro, they're all nice until you piss them off. There's a reason why there's reasons why the Geneva Conventions exist. Their actions are part of it. If Russia ever annexes Ukraine, it's not like Ukraine will have a say in it. Comparing Ukraine to Canada is laughable. What? I mean, Ukraine at one point was part of Russia. Just like before, you know, anywho, like, bro, this is just, and there's more. Have a far better understanding than you given your reply, typical Europoor. What the hell? Whoever invented the term Europoor And whoever uses the term Europoor, put your head in a bucket of water 3 times and pull it out twice. Like, that's just, you're stupid. That or actually go study some stuff. Good God. Average cost of a basic college degree, Germany 0, France $200 a year, Brazil $1,500 a year, US $35,000 a year. Same degree, different price tag. It's not about access, it's about control. And yet you liberal clowns want to give the government more power and more control over more shit. Makes zero damn sense. Between state funding, federal funding, and alumni donations and endowments and stuff like that, every public college in the U.S. should be absolutely free to the residents within whatever state that college is in. Absolutely free. No need for FOSFA. No need for nothing like that. Zero. They make that much money. And with the intelligence level, we could probably stand to, if you want to take and charge any kind of tuition, put every bit of it towards a better faculty who actually teach the students that go there better than what they're getting right now, because it's failing. It's not about control. It's oh my Jesus, dude. Seriously, like, or it's not about giving the government control. It's about the control that they already have and the misuse of it and the way Americans are paying for it. Now that's proper pizza. Still looks like shit to my snobby New Yorker eyes, but I suppose it looks decent for Domino's. From Chicago, and most pizzas look like shit to me, but we have to learn to accept. Not amazing looking pizzas. Not everyone can do it like New York or Chicago or Detroit. We just have to accept. In Japan, there's no pizza I've had that was amazing. If anyone knows any good place all of Japan to have a good pizza, please let me know. I miss decent pizza. So the deep dish of Chicago, the thin slice or the thin crust of New York, both good pizzas when done right. But they got so much, like, really, we're not the only, you just, the problem is you're not willing to expand your palate. That's the issue. What the fuck? Rejected right-wing populism, rejected right-wing populism, rejected right-wing populism, rejected right-wing dove head first and right-wing populism. England, Australia, Germany are full communist. They're not, oh my God. And every one of those countries do not want to move to the U.S. Most of them don't even want to visit the U.S. Or a lot of them don't want to visit the U.S. They're not full communist. Not at all. I mean, granted, there's some things I might not say on social media, depending on where I'm at. But, Jesus Christ, dude. There's things I wouldn't say on social media here in the U.S. because, overreach and shit like that. People can preach freedom of speech all they want. It's only free until you say something that pisses them off that they don't agree with. What's a man skill you're proud of, even if it's in many fights with my immigrant dad at 16 trying to learn to drive stick when English is a second language, only speak English, trying to teach something as technical as driving stick was like igniting a bomb between us. Just do it like me. Isn't explaining shit on when exactly it hit the clutch. Not trying to downplay your struggle at all, but my dad speaks the same dang language as me and didn't do much better explaining how to drive stick. Didn't really master it until I got my own car and was forced to figure it out or not go anywhere very fast. It's a super technical process to teach. So many things going on at once that you can't do it slow or the car will stall. You got your left hand on the steering wheel with your eyes on the road to ensure you're staying in your lane. Right hand on the shifter. Right foot on the gas, left foot on the clutch. Now you have to engage all your limbs at the perfect time to shift gears. Yeah, nothing Trump said is incorrect and mind-boggling. People understand that Canada would cease to exist without the United States. The fact they're charging anything to American imports is laughable, and Trump was correctly pointing that out. Bro, oh, I'm done with this. I've seen all I want to see. Jesus Christ, dude.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
See, the thing for me is like,
damn.
Trump with the whole dairy stuff as far as Canada is concerned. He got them to expand. As long as a certain amount of the dairy wasn't imported, we wouldn't take and get charged. There'd be no tariff on the goods that are coming. And we never hit the fucking mark. We never hit that mark. I don't get it. I do not get it. The way he's done the tariff thing is stupid. You do reciprocal, you don't take and do, so 2% or 5% on European cars come to the U.S., 15% on American cars coming from the U.S., as far as the EU is concerned. You don't automatically go from 5% to 25%. You do reciprocal, which means you go from 5% to 15% to even playing field. Okay, you charge us 15% for vehicles that are coming from the U.S. taking and going to the EU, or if you're going to take and do it on pork or grains or anything like that, which is like 15 or 20%, you don't take and automatically go to 25, 30, 35, 40, 50%. You just don't take and do that. You take and do reciprocal, which means you take and meet the tariff level they have on the goods coming from your country. That way you even that playing field. It's no longer cheaper. Like, I don't understand how that wasn't a thing. We're going to take and do reciprocal tariffs for these goods that come from our country to your country that are tariffed at a higher rate than what we take and have on the same goods coming from your country. China, I understand, they do massive currency manipulation they have for a long time. Not only with the US dollar, but a lot of the currencies around the world. Everybody wants to take and scream at all this green stuff and everything like that, and we've got to take and do better, but yet India and China their feet aren't held to the fire, and they've opened more coal burning plants and they're still planning to open coal burning plants. So it's a net negative. Anything that's done as far as climate control when you've got places like India and China. So you want to take and enforce a greener policy, well then you enforce higher tariffs on somewhere like China and every good that comes from there until they take and go, all right, we're going to take and get in line with the rest of the global consensus on this. But no, nobody's doing that. If everybody wants to take and do more regulations, still take and do the free, favorable trade with China. No, that's, you take and freeze them out until they take and come to the terms with the rest of the world and they stop doing stuff like the currency manipulation and, you're not going to take and actually follow anything as far as the climate change stuff that everybody wants to take and preach about. You don't want to take and the world's agree to this. No. Then this is what is going to, this is what things cost. And then you encourage opening of factories for stuff that's your country imports a lot of stuff from China for. So that way you don't need China. You freeze them out that way. That's how you bring them to the table and force them to take and be like, all right, we're going to take and play by the rules. We'll cut this much carbon. We'll do this. We'll take and do this as far as tariff wise. We'll stop doing the intellectual property theft. Like that's where everybody should have went, especially the U.S. But no. We're going to take and do regressive. We're going to take and do punitive, not regressive, but punitive tariffs. Because we don't understand how shit works in this country, apparently. Hi, Chihuahua. This was kind of painful. This was very painful to read through, just the stupidity of people. I hope y'all enjoyed this. We'll take and start doing more stuff like this going forward. Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.